What's happening, guys? This is a video regarding a Q&A. I put out an Instagram story recently just basically stating for you guys to ask me any questions that you want answering, because I get a lot of messages on Instagram and I get a lot of messages, a lot of comments on YouTube regarding questions that you're asking. So what I've done was put an Instagram story out and just asking you guys to ask me anything that you wanted answering. We've got a lot of questions. I think we've got over 91 questions. So I'm going through them now. Each question is worded a little bit differently, but some might be the actual same question. So what I'll do is, if I don't answer your question, I've answered it to a similar response to somebody else, basically. So let's crack on and get on with the questions. Okay, question number one. How do you come back from wiping out your entire trading account when you've just started? So for me, the reality of this question is that you're going to lose a lot of your money at the start anyway. You have to open up a trading account that you can afford to lose the money with, if that makes sense. Don't open up a trading account thinking that you're going to turn that £500 into 50,000, because it's not going to work. And anyone that tells you that they're going to do that is usually the guys that you want to be avoiding on Instagram and Snapchat and YouTube and everything else. The harsh reality is that you're going to lose that money at the start. It's just everybody does. So my advice is that just get back on the saddle. Start off very small and start off with money that you're happy to lose, so you take your emotion out of it, and then slowly build your account up when you become consistent. When I say consistent, I don't mean 1 or 2 days. I mean having a profitable month. Once you've had a profitable month, and then you can start adding to your account once you're more confident that you're going to be able to make money, further. Okay, question number 2. What was your turning point for you after having multiple losses? Good question. So for me, I had to have a hard reality check on myself. I basically lost in total, I think it was about 8,000 or 9,000, I can't remember the exact amount. And I had to look at myself and think, what am I doing right now? This is serious. What do I want to do with this? Do I just want to become a 70% trader where we don't make money? Or do I want to actually go with this? And I had to really look at myself and say, okay, let's strip this back and let's really, really focus on my strategy, become very disciplined and stick to my rules and push on. And I've reopened up the account, started off with small, and just basically what I just said, I built up until I become consistent and confident in my strategy, basically. Okay, how many hours did you spend looking at charts every day until you found your edge? 0, mate. I don't sit there and staring at charts. That's not what I do. The strategy is not staring at charts. People that stare at charts, I think you just drive yourself crazy. We have patterns that we've been taught, and we execute those patterns on a daily basis. We don't sit there staring at charts. I don't sit there staring at charts. I look at the pre-market, look what it's doing, look for my support and resistance, look on the percentage that it's moved, and then I play out the pattern accordingly on that stock at that particular time. I don't sit there and stare at charts. Okay, how do you calculate how many stocks you buy based on risk management and spread? So what I do is I basically, on IG Index is a measure tool. So I always look to make 1 or 2% of the stock. And what I do is I measure 1 or 2% on that stock. And for me, I spread bet. So if that measurement is 50 pips away, I know that if I'm risking, let's say 10,000 on that trade, I will know how much to put on per pip to make sure that that margin of 10,000 is covered, basically. This is a good one. What are some of the things you changed your mindset on in order to turn profitable? So for me, it wasn't really changing my mindset, because my mindset's always been to make money. What I done was I become very, very disciplined. Even if I lost money in 30 seconds, I would literally, as I said in an Instagram story recently, what I did is I used to put the trade on. What I would do is I would open up Start on the computer, have the shutdown button open on my computer. So what I would do is I'd watch that trade. If it went well, then I would obviously close the trade and wouldn't shut the computer down. However, if it went against me and it hit my 2% stop loss very quickly, I would press shutdown and walk out of the room. Sounds very far-fetched, but for me, that was when I started to really become disciplined, and I noticed a massive difference, because you can turn a bad day to a very terrible day very quickly, and them terrible days is what's always making you play catch-up, basically, all right? Okay, do you typically use the 5-minute candle or market open strategy trades? Yes, I do. The reason why I do that is because I've tried to do 1-minute candles before, and 1 minute candles can be quite big. However, the move is not that great, not that big itself, and for someone like me, you know, I need it to be sort of a little bit more chilled and relaxed and to watch the price and don't get faked out by a really fast moving 1 minute candle. It's a lot more chilled looking at 5 minutes. Did I have much trading experience before Zed's course? Yes, I did. I had about 6-7 months. 6-7 months of losses though. You know, I really started to become profitable when I went onto Zed's strategy, because beforehand I didn't really have a strategy. I was kind of just trading what I saw, buying and selling. I didn't know what certain things meant for markets. I just was going off indicators. I was trying to do everything by the book and it wasn't working at all. I'm based in the UK and trading. What is the process of paying tax on your profits? So spread betting is tax-free. You don't have to pay your taxes because it is deemed to be gambling, hence the word spread betting. CFDs in the UK, you do have to pay your taxes. There is a certain amount of money that you have to make with spread betting, but that's quite large amounts, and then you have to start declaring that to the tax man. How much money did you start trading with? Do you need a lot to start trading? No, I just started trading with £500. I think most people start off with 500. Some do more, some do less, but I start with 500. Are you planning on investing in property? Yes, I am. I'm just waiting for 1 or 2 things to clear off my credit file from when I was younger. That should be in January time. For me, investing in property is so key. I'm plugging my money away at the minute. I save about 40% to 50% of my earnings every month, and I'm putting it aside into an investment account at the minute, and that money's going to be invested into property. I'm going to be looking at buying multi-family homes and get the rent payments from that every single month and build up a passive income stream from that. Do you use hard stop losses? Yes, I do. How long from when you started did you start to see green profitable weeks? From when I started with Zed, it took about 2-3 months, maybe more. The reason why I was having profitable weeks, don't get me wrong, but I wasn't having profitable months because my discipline was all over the place. I was just literally, I'd have 4 greens and then 1 big red, and that big red would wipe out all them greens. Discipline and risk management is the most important thing. I don't care what anyone says. How much can I make a week with 30k account? A lot. I don't know a better answer for that. You can make a lot. Are you going to do a small account YouTube video series? Be awesome to see. Yes, 100% I'm doing that. There's something happening right now and it's being done in the back right now, so just keep your eyes peeled for that. That should be coming very soon. Do you swing trade? Yes. When I say swing trade, I'll probably hold a position for maybe 1 or 2 days. That's if the fundamentals are big, you know, like for example, Donald Trump catching coronavirus or whatever. That can be a position you can hold for 1 or 2 days, maybe 3. But you've got to be very careful and always got to watch the news when swinging positions, because they can easily swing against you. Are you planning to do a course like Zed's? Very similar, yes. I'm planning on doing something. It's going to be in the pipeline for me. There's a lot going on at the minute, a lot that I'm looking forward to, especially in the new year. So just keep your eyes peeled for that. If you were a beginner again, what would you do differently? Good question. I would have my risk management down pat from the get-go. That delayed me for about 6-7 months and lost me a lot of money. Best advice I can give someone literally on who's trading is have your risk management in place. Always, always, always only lose 2% maximum on a stock, because you can come back and fight another day. If your strategy works, and you know it does, which we know it does, I'm a living example of it working, and other people like Eduardo, Lewis, these are all people that are following the strategy and it's working and we're making money from it. As long as your risk management's okay, you're gonna be able to come back and do it another day. And that is the biggest thing that I would advise anyone, and that was the only thing I would have changed at the start regarding trading. How much has trading changed your life for the better? It's been unbelievable, really. I was talking to Zed about this the other day, and the possibilities with this is endless. You know, it's so exciting that, you know, it opens up new doors to things, you know, like property investment, going away, going on holiday, not worrying about having to you know, money that you're gonna have to save up for. And, you know, being able to travel the world and work while traveling the world as well. It's exciting times coming up, and you guys can do this as well. You know, I'm no different to you. I grew up in South London with nothing. You know, I haven't got it all at the minute, but I'm getting there, and I'm on the journey to do that. So anybody can do this, believe me. As long as you've got your discipline in place, you can do this, trust me. At times when you had to take losses, did you find it happened whenever you were over trading? Every single time. I literally bought a trading journal. I don't know if you can see that. It has changed trading for me because I couldn't, you know, when you're in that rut and you end up losing so much, you're sort of like, the market's so against me. But when you actually write down your trades and you look at the losses that you made, it's all the ones that are not a part of your strategy. It's very difficult to see that when you're in that blocked out mindset, but when you write it down, you're like, Jesus, you know, all these losses are from the strategy that isn't mine. So if I just stick to my strategy, I will eradicate all of them losses. I would advise you getting one of these. I got these from Amazon. Really good. Which broker do you use and why? Okay, I use IG Index. It's just the broker that I got advised to use. Never had a problem with them, always been good. Even when we had that mad times going on in March this year with coronavirus, a lot of brokers were, you know, not withdrawing money, etc. I never had a problem with them, was always able to do what's asked. I like this one. Favourite quote of all time and recommended book to read. So recommended book to read depends what you're looking for, you know. If you're looking to manage money and how to make money and what to do with your money, the book I recommend you reading is The Richest Man in Babylon. That book, what you see now with a lot of these modern day gurus, if you like, talking about money and everything else, they all got it from that book. It's an unbelievable book. I'd recommend you getting it. It's on Amazon for about £8. For trading, obviously you've got Trading in the Zone. That's a great book. For mindset and psychology, the book that changed my life was Psycho-Cybernetics by Maxwell Maltz. Incredible book. But favourite quote of all time, discipline equals freedom. Very simple, but very effective. Discipline equals freedom. If you can get disciplined, the world's your oyster. And that isn't just with trading, that's with everything. Which patterns do you trade for futures, morning and evening sessions? So futures is basically trading the news. There's a book called The Atlas of Economic Indicators that I use, which is that. It shows you exactly how stock market will react when, you know, something comes out regarding, you know, the news and whatever else. So it's a good way of you learning how to trade futures and what to look out for. You know, when the payroll unemployment comes out, you don't know which way the market's going to go. Have a look at that book and it will tell you. How many red days do you currently have and how long did it take for you to become profitable? Well, we've answered the profitable question. How many red days? I probably have one, maybe sometimes two, but the red days are very small compared to the green days. They're usually about 3 times bigger, the green days, than they are red days. What is your advice on letting a profit run? Good question. So what I do is, if I'm trading futures or whatever else, and the fundamentals are stacked in my favour, I will move my stop to break even, especially if I'm really far out in profit, not if I'm 50 points in profit, because with Wall Street and the down, that can easily come back. If I'm 100, 150 points in profit, move my stop to break even, and then maybe if it's coming up to a strong support or resistance, I may bank 60, 70% of that trade and leave the other 30% running. So I've taken money off the table, I've made money from it, now I'm in a free trade. Whatever happens from that, you know, it's great, it's a bonus. I wanted to ask you, can you open 2 accounts and spread betting? Yes. Was interested to know how you kept positive and didn't give up through the losing months. I saw the bigger picture, and I knew that there was something out there that, you know, I've seen Zed do it and I've seen other people do it that are not as smart as me do it. So I thought there was always a chance to really capitalise in this, and I took it with both hands in the end. When is the right time to exit a trade and how not to be greedy and hold it for too long? So when you ask that question, when is the right time to exit this trade, it's probably the right time to exit this trade. If you're getting concerns with it now, then that's the best time to do it. Or what I just said, move your stop to break even, bank 60, 70% of it and leave it and let it run, because you're in a free trade. Best price action tips, have a look at my previous video, it will explain it all for you there. How do you decide how much of your profit to withdraw? Good question. I just pay myself a salary, whatever it is that month. I know my expenses for the month and I know how much I want to withdraw. If I want to buy something new like the watch or whatever else, I'll withdraw more. I just pay myself a salary basically. What do you think about penny stocks? Traded them a few times, way too risky for me. I don't like that. You can lose your money so quickly, not for me. What indicators news you use to trade a certain ticker and how to trade with margin? Indicators, I don't use them. They're so pointless for me. For example, an RSI or a MACD, have that underneath your charts. If, for example, let's say we have our RSI that says it's really, really oversold, let's say, for example. So you buy that, because it's really, really oversold in your RSI. Then all of a sudden, the news comes out, like we had recently, I'm going to use it again as an example, Donald Trump catches coronavirus. The market goes absolutely south, it tanks. You bought that because your RSI is telling it it's oversold, when really you should be reacting to the news. That is it. News moves markets. You know, technical setups and everything else look great on your charts, and you look like you know what you're doing. News is the market mover, and that is it. Our stocks are all related to news movements, so whatever's happening in the news, that stock will trade accordingly. It's as simple as that. Yeah, so I hope that helps. There was a lot of questions there, as I said, of 91. But you know, a lot of them were asking the same question basically. So I hope that clears up a lot of the questions that you ask and I get asked on a daily basis. I'm going to be doing more videos. I've got another trading video coming out. I'm going to do a video regarding my journey as well, how I got here, so a little bit more in detail about that. But let me know what other kind of videos you want to see. I've got the small account video going on in the background as well, so that's going to be a really good one. Subscribe if you're new. Drop us a comment and drop us a like. We're on the road to 1,000 subscribers. We're nearly there. I think we're less than 100 to go. And yeah, I'm going to leave it there, guys. I hope this all helped. Have a lovely day.